Late afternoon on the farm. Heat of the day is just ebbing away. I was just sitting here, I thought I got a bit of an epiphany, so I thought I'd go and grab the camera and my cool box of water and plonk my backside back down. So, me and gang, our job for the next hour or two is babysitting the goats, which are over there, all 7 of them. At the moment they're eating their favourite, which is a morning glory, around the lake. So there's water both sides, so they can't go anywhere apart from further, and you can see as far as the eye can see, so they're not going anywhere far. Gang's no trouble apart from making a hair noise. A hazy day. Over there I can see a few of our geese, and it's so tranquil. The only thing that pisses on my chips a bit is a bloke spraying his rice as per usual. It's a daily occurrence, but hey ho, each to their own, and there's no wind bringing it over here to my nostrils. I think that's last of the geese going in. But I just sat here and I thought, do you know what? I'm proper relaxed. And it just got me thinking a bit. How many times were I like this back in the UK? And really, hand on heart, I can't really remember too many. Apart from maybe being round my mum's on a Sunday when she's done a roast and I've had a couple of beers, and then I'm sitting back in one of her posh reclining chairs or sofa with my feet up watching the footy. Oh no, that can't be right. I'd never relax watching the footy. But never to feel so, I've never felt so, don't know, horizontal maybe. Certainly not without having any alcohol, and I haven't had any for a week. But you can hear the birds chirping, the dog panting, the goats munching. I'm sitting under a shadow of a banana tree that I grew myself from a baby plant that grew from one of Toon's dad's trees many moons ago. I can see his coconut trees all fruiting for the first time in all the years since he'd planted them. I can hear the frogs, what you hear, croaking or whatever. Beautiful time. It's a bit different from well, obviously different for working for a living, but I don't know, you finish work for a day, and I used to sit in the car for an hour or 3 getting back home from wherever I was working, get back in, get me dinner on, have the radio on while I'm cooking. This is when Toon was back in Thailand. Once dinner's done, radio goes off, TV goes on, catch up on a bit on football or something, and then I'd have a few beers, waste a few hours playing online, shooting Americans online on Call of Duty or whatever, and then go to bed a bit tipsy. All that is well gone now, and I can't say I miss it. Mind you, goat watching is pretty hypnotic, but it's not stressy. We were a bit apprehensive when we first let them off on the loose. Free range goating sounds fraught with danger, but I tell you what, once you get to know them and what they like and what they don't like, and you know the areas where they can't go wandering off too much, flipping easy. I know we've only got 7, when we get about 7,000 it'll be different, but no problem at all. Very relaxing. Isn't it, gang? Eh? Toon's off killing a chicken, having cockerel again, trying to get our cockerel numbers down. So, free range cockerel for dinner. I don't know what style she's doing. She said she fancies pad kapel. I've got no problem with that. She picked some pak bung before the goats got loose on it. So that'll be another dish. Lovely. Another prime example for me for the simple things in life. I know farming sometimes isn't simple, it's very chaotic, a lot of things to do, but what I mean by the simple things in life is simple pleasures, I suppose, is what I mean. Simple pleasures, just sitting right in the middle of nature. The only other times I can remember being like this was when I used to go carp fishing back in the UK. I used to be in a syndicate or two and just used to sit all weekend in my bivvy, drinking far too many cups of teas and sitting there looking at the lake, looking at the wildlife. I tell you what, the weekends never dragged. Not for everyone that, of course, but just to slow yourself down, slow your pace of life down. It's I feel I wouldn't say I'm adding years to my life, but I think I've saved a few coming here and leading this lifestyle now. I can't remember the last time I felt stressed. Body feels stressed now and again, but not mentally stressed. Never getting a fuddle anymore. I might fuddle my words now and again on video, but I don't seem to get in a pickle. Still get moody when the ducks don't go in when they're told, but that can't be bad if that's anything that pees me off. Mongalai brownie, you're not full yet, you carry on. Big brownie, you got to watch her, she's quite sneaky. Yeah, she's walking up here now, and when she looks at you and then looks away, I mean she's just about to leg it past you. And I haven't got me whipping stick here, and I'm not quick enough to stop her, so, and I don't want gang chasing her because that won't end well. I'll just push you back a bit, girl, because I know what you're like. Sneaky. Oh, you're just having a quick pint. I don't talk about beer, I'm gasping. The reason I'm off the grog is when I got my man flu, obviously you can't face a wee dram or a pint then. Well, I suppose you could if you've got a habit, but once I'd got over the man flu, which isn't easy of course, you know that guys, I just thought, not really got the taste for a pint tonight, I won't have one. And the next night was the same, and the next night, and Tim was looking at me a bit strange, you're not having a chang? I was like, nah. So I've just carried it on. I'm not setting myself a target, never to... What the I've just seen something swimming across the lake. What is that? Can't be the monitor lizard on film, can it? Oh, sun's in my eyes. It's right in the cut. It'll just come across there, right into the corner over there. There's no point in walking up there. If it's that, it'll just be gone. But if it comes up onto the top, I'll be able to see it because it's huge. The monitor lizards on our land seem to want to stay very, very close to the water sources. Easy for them to hide and leg it. Yeah, he's not coming up. Carry on eating, you lot. You're not full. That looks fat, but nowhere near. Goat Wrangler Lee, eh? Who'd have thought? My mum asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I couldn't really think of anything. I just said, don't get me any socks or pants. I'm alright for them now. I should have just said, I'll have another goat, thanks mum. Some of the changes in the wildlife over the last couple of months has been really, really cool to see. Like the dragonflies, we've never really seen many dragonflies here, but there's literally thousands upon thousands of them. Certainly when we let the goats go in the thick gorse on the land, it sends up the midges, and of course then the dragonflies move in and pick off thousands of them. Of course, the unfortunate thing is that the birds then dive bomb the dragonflies and they eat quite a few of them, but I suppose it swings and roundabouts. The more birds you have, then the more bugs they're eating as well. I just wish they were allergic to dragonflies. We've got a lot more Achaead, which are the small frogs in Thailand, not the big bullfrogs or the poisonous toads. We used to use a lot of those on the standing hooks for catching snakehead. Now that all our ponds have become a lot more matured and there's a lot more vegetation around the ponds, you come out at night to turn the lights on or off, the bug lights on the pond, and yeah, there's loads and loads about. So the good thing about that is, of course, they're eating bugs as well. But the downside, there's always a yin and a yang, an up and a down. The good and the bad is the little frogs are the favourite food of a lot of the snakes here. The other one is, yeah, there's quite a few rats around, but not round the house. I suppose because there's so many places for them to hide, and there's a lot more vegetation for them to eat now. If you think of a highly manicured farmer's field, you know, full on modern so-called modern agriculture, where everything's sprayed and that, it's not really productive for rats. So our area does attract rats. Of course, we get more snakes now. I've slowly, and I do stress slowly, sort of come around to the snake side of things. It's been quite a while since I've killed one. On the side of things, I haven't really talked about it too much, but yeah, I've been learning a bit about them, only a little bit. And I can't say they're my favourite creature by any stretch of the imagination, and they never ever will be. But yeah, once you start recognising which ones are which and which ones aren't going to grow anymore and potentially be a problem, then yeah, okay. I was the iron fist before. Never mind. We live and learn, don't we? None of us are perfect. All that sort of thing. I know there's a few snakes that are killed that didn't really need to be killed, and some may argue, well, no snake needs killing, but there have been several potentially dangerous ones and a threat to our poultry. We've had 2 dogs killed by snakes as well. So, you know, there is a bit of a track record here. It's not as if I've just been doing it because I don't like snakes. But yeah, I think now they've got plenty of places to hide. It's not too much of an issue. And we've got the dogs around the house all the time, so there's less and less. There's less snakes around the house. We tend not, touch wood, we tend not to get many around the poultry. Now I don't know whether that's because we've got so many cockerels. I really don't know. We haven't seen a 3-metre python for a couple of years. It's been a while since I've seen the monitor lizard, unless that was it a few minutes ago. We've started to see more squirrels now on the land. Been brilliant. Because before, you see all these, I'll have to do it from a viewfinder, all these trees here are all on our land, quite mature trees. They're like on mountains of soil. And certainly in what they call the hunting season around here, nearly every night people used to come on our land and shine torches up into the trees and shoot the catapults up at the birds that are roosting. A lot of the birds around here won't fly at night, so if you can find where they roost, they're pretty easy pickings. So there was a lot of hunting that used to go on. A lot of people into the sugar cane and the rice paddies after the rats. But of course the dogs go crazy. They're too near our fish ponds for our liking. We can't sleep properly, so that is one thing we still rule with the iron fist. No one on our land, unless they come and ask us. So 2's nephew, he's allowed with his mates when he comes back and visits. He normally fills his boots because, of course, no one's been hunting for many moons. So probably twice a year it gets hunted on. No problem with that. Everyone else can jog on. Here we go. I think this sums up today perfectly. See this big red ant here? Look how far he's travelled. Right. Down to there, and then it's down to the ground there. So, this little fella, that used to be me, that's me off on my way to work. That's me off to the Isle of Skye, doing a week's rescue training in a horrible weather, and then driving back pass via Peterborough to see my mum for an hour and have a cup of tea and a bite to eat, and then down south to Bude to start training the very next day. That was me. I was a red ant. But here he is, look. Down he comes. Oh no, he's going back up. I was going to say, he's done a few years. Feels like it's going downhill, can't cope anymore. Gets to terra firma, i.e. Thailand, and he looks up, and there he is, watching the goats run around with his dog. Hey, happy ant. One of the next things I'm hoping to investigate first, research rather, first before I get into it. I'm looking into the possibility of trying to put some hives in and make our own honey. I've been reading up quite a bit on the health benefits of fresh organic honey, and obviously it will help with the pollination of what we grow here as well. So that's something in the future I hope to integrate, if it's doable out here. I'm not too sure. We've certainly got enough bees, whether they're the right ones. We do find honey growing in the wild from time to time, probably 2 or 3 times a year. But there's bees all around on certain areas of the farm, and if they are the type that make the honey, we've got no shortage to fill up a few hives, that's for sure. But as I say, I haven't really looked on the possibility of doing it in Thailand. I've only just sort of been reading up on how to do it, so that's still in the embryonic stages, but I think that would be really, really interesting as well. Oh, Terminus, you got nailed, mate. Dented pride. Cheers.